Good evening. Welcome to the Korea Society's live webcast of the Ik-Joong Kang Gallery Talk. I'm Tom Byrne, president of the Korea Society. Earlier this year, we had the honor and great pleasure of opening Ik-Joong Kang's solo exhibit, Moonjaw, Longing for Home, at the Korea Society in our gallery in our office on Madison Avenue and 45th Street in Midtown Manhattan. The solo exhibition features several new paintings by the artist, as well as an installation of over 6,000 small panel drawings from Korean War refugees, which the artist, with the help of Korea Society staff and interns, meticulously applied to the walls of the Korea Society. Although our gallery is currently closed to the public, the photos of the installation and his paintings are now on view on our website. It is not a substitute for the real exhibition, but if you have not seen the exhibition, we hope the online gallery will give you an idea of its beauty and impact. Mr. Kang's artistic practice provides a platform for humanity's aspirations to achieve what might appear to be impossible. Just as the Korean moon jars are made from two precarious halves united to form a whole, Mr. Kang's paintings emphasize how moon jars represent the potential of the Korean peninsula to reunite. Orchestrating the collection, replication, and display of Korean refugee drawings, the process of which can be seen on a short documentary film, also available on our website, Mr. Kang transforms these individual works to form an installation that polishes another facet of his cultural longing for home, accomplishing personal as well as political reunions. Born in Cheongju in Chungcheongbuk-do, a city I knew well at the time I was a Peace Corps volunteer back in the day, and raised in Seoul, Mr. Ik-Joong Kang moved to New York City in 1984, where he lives today while working internationally. Mr. Kang was awarded a Special Merit Prize at the Venice Biennial, and his artistic work has been displayed in major public and private collections worldwide. I look forward to hearing about his past, present, and upcoming works here tonight during the live webcast. Mr. Kang is joined by our special guest, Dr. Katherine Anne Paul, who has graciously agreed to serve as moderator tonight. Dr. Paul is a renowned curator of Asian art who has worked with numerous artists and institutions globally. A Fulbright scholar, in 2019, she was appointed as the Virginia and William M. Spencer III Curator of Asian Art at the Birmingham Museum of Art. She previously held positions at the Philadelphia Museum of Art, the Textile Museum, the American Museum of Natural History, among others. We are delighted that she has joined us tonight. And before I turn the program over to Dr. Paul, I would like to bring your attention to the extraordinary work of the Korea Society's Art and Culture Director, J.O. She, without any uncertainty, has been an essential employee in pulling together all aspects of the Kang Ik-Joong exhibit, including chipping in with a laborious piece-by-piece installation of the some 6,000 small panels on the walls of the Society's art gallery and public events room. Thanks, Jay, for all your hard work. If you have any questions for Mr. Kang during this program, please email arts and culture, all strung together, at koreasociety.org or use Twitter at Korea Society Art. Mr. Kang and Dr. Paul, we look forward to your conversation. Dr. Paul.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Tom, for that wonderful introduction. I think I'm going to turn it over to a screen share now, so we will see you virtually later. And let's see, hopefully this is working perfectly. There we go. So thank you, Tom, so much for that wonderful introduction. Thank you to Korea Society for all the amazing work you do. The Arts and Culture program is just one component of a panoply of offerings that you provide. Thank you, J.O., Director of Arts and Culture, for your masterful coordination, not only of this event, but also the installation, which I know is very, very beautiful. And thank you also for pivoting so quickly to the live stream format. Thank you, Peter Stemke, for your technical wizardry. Without you, we would not be here right now. And thank you, intern Gia Pineda, who I just discovered had an internship down here at the Birmingham Museum of Art before being up there at Korea Society. All of your support makes things like this happen. Thank you, viewers out there, for joining us here this evening in this new virtual world. And thank you, Kang, for involving me in this wonderful conversation tonight. Little did I dream when we first met 9 years ago that we would be able to work together on so many different ways, including, hopefully, the project behind me, which is proposed for the Birmingham Museum of Art. I look forward to working with you on many, many ways, including tonight's conversation.
Great honor to be part of this interview with Dr. Katherine Paul, one of the most important scholars of Asian art in our time, and also my good friend of mine for many, many years. Also, I'd like to thank you all the staff of Korea Society who made this interview possible. Thank you.
As Tom's introduction really showed many different facets of what you do, he overlooked what an amazing foodie you are. I love going to restaurants with you, and some of that will come out as part of our program. But also, you're a prolific writer and a published poet. We were talking in preparation for tonight's talk, and you had some beautifully stated insights. Would you share them with us here tonight?
Okay, I've always believed our life is like riding a train. We get on and get off. We meet people and see things in the course of a journey of life. This journey connects us to many things and many people. We are looking out same scenery from the same window that we are sharing right now, just like this. Maybe we are physically distanced, but never socially apart. Through this journey of a pandemic, I think we are socially engaged and emotionally connected more than ever before. So we are permanent passengers that travel through endless karma. I think we have to stay positive and connect to each other to get out of this tunnel of this pandemic.
Beautifully stated, absolutely beautifully stated. Since the reason we are gathered here virtually tonight is the occasion of the exhibition Moonjar Longing for Home that did open briefly in New York this spring, could you please walk us through how the exhibition is installed, as it is also an artist installation?
Okay. I was trying to convert the exhibition space to a regular house we all live in, just like a regular house, apartment in New York, whatever. Rooms and windows, place to eat. Just imagine, just draw a picture in your mind. These 8 large windows face outside, face toward mountain far away. Just above the mountain, there are about 800 small windows. You can see many floating moon jars and also like a full moons through these windows. Inside the house, family members inhabit and they use different rooms at different times, come and go. You understand if you have children in a college age, but they just come and go and just, But the dining room is always the center of the most essential place of the house where family members gather together and eat, communicate. It has to be the place of happiness, if it is possible.
So why did you choose to use a ping pong table as a sort of dining table?
The ping pong table used to be my #1 house treasure, but it had been abused by my son and his friends for many years. They used it as a beer pong table, you know the game of beer pong?
Sure.
And they put whatever, just beer on top of a table tennis, whatever, ping pong table, and then throw the ball into the cup. If you don't put it in, you have to drink the water beer.
Right.
Right away. Probably the fastest way to get drunk. It was always soaked with a smelly beer, like a drunken man. So I fold it half. I paint red on top and then blue on the bottom. And I told them, you guys, from now on, no more beer pong. But they like my painting, actually. My son, Kyo is a college, like a senior, right? He said, it looks like a taegeukgi, Korean flag. Actually, that was my intention to paint taegeukgi on the ping pong table for this exhibition. Taegeuk means supreme alternate in nature and the balance and harmony in universe. As you know, the red represents yang energy and then blue represents yin energy in ancient theory. The main thing is one cannot exist without the other. Even though they appear totally opposite, they deeply support and nourish each other. Just like a man and woman, day and night.
So this table then really connects to something in a much larger world, something that is both a table, but also a painting, and also much more than a table. Can you tell us more about its ping pong resonance?
Yeah. Actually, yes, it's true. I think in the spring of 1991, the North and South Korea ping pong team temporarily formed the very first united sports team to join the World Table Tennis Championship that was held in Japan. I think it was Chiba City. I heard they trained as one team for only 1 month.
Wow.
That they would go on with the best team in the world at the time, which was China.
Amazing.
It was one of my kind of most memorable sporting event. Many Koreans remember, including myself. This tournament opened up, I think, smallest window of hope and promise for the two Koreas uniting one day.
Fabulous. I know that the moon jar is a strong recurrent theme in many of your works. How did this theme become so important to you?
It began with this project, Moon of Dreams. Actually. A 48-feet diameter globe was covered with drawings of 126,000 children from everywhere. It was launched at Hosu Lake, not far from the DMZ, a borderline between North and South Korea.
I understand you had a big shock with this project.
True. On the morning of the opening day, I was so shocked to find somewhat deflated and unbalanced globe floating on the water. It was like a scary moment.
Oh.
I realized we had to pump too much air into the balloon, thinking that we could get the perfectly round shape. But in doing so, the vinyl canvas material of the globe ripped, and then full moon shape slowly became an imperfect one. It's kind of,
Heartbreaking.
I was so disappointed. And then soon I saw a lovely shape in the deflated globe. It actually resembled the moon jar. On the thing, one of the things that makes the moon jar so beautiful is the shape and the character of imperfection. From this, I've learned that imperfection can make its own perfection.
So true. So returning to the exhibition, which is both imperfect and perfect, I can see that your foodie side is revealed. Tell us about the choice of food that is placed on the tables.
I placed two types of food on the table. Naengmyeon, the cold noodles. Probably you know the naengmyeon, right? And then
Yum.
from North Korea, and then bibimbap, mixed rice. It came from South Korea.
Mhm.
These are my two favorite dishes in Korean food. So when you go to Korean restaurant next time, order one of them. You'll love it. I guarantee it.
Absolutely delicious. I also noticed that you have a self-portrait sitting above the ping pong table with red and blue, but also phonetic Hangul letters. Can you tell us more about this choice?
The Korean language Hangul has 24 consonants and the vowel letters. Oh, I forgot. By the way, today is the birthday of King Sejong.
Happy birthday!
The Hangul. He was born May 15, 1397.
Mhm.
In 1447, in 1443, Sejong and scholars developed an alphabetic system to accurately represent Korean language sound and sentence structure. It's amazing. I was thought that Munja and Hangul share the same secret code of the two countries becoming one. Even though the top and bottom part of Munja made separately, it becomes one Munja. After many hours of waiting in the fire, they make a bottom first and top later, and they put together. They go through, right? And the vowel and then consonant Hangul are two different things, but actually it makes a perfect sound after it's combined.
So this Hangul scroll right here at the center, the consonants are on top and the vowels are below, just like the part that you painted on your self-portrait. Is that true?
Sure, yeah. For many years, I've been written thousands of poems and short sentences in Hangul based on my belief and observation of things around me, things that could be true, but there's no scientific proof that they are true. It could be poems or just excerpts from my personal diary.
Could you give us some examples?
Okay, let's see. For First, like when you get out of a subway, then you feel lost, and then walk the opposite direction of what you originally thought.
I do that all the time.
And then like stage phobia, stage fright, comes from the desire to show off more than who you are. Actually, it happened to my case. I have one more actually. You cannot hear someone's bark on the plane.
So are these the types of phrases that you titled Things I Know and used in large works like this one?
Yes, yes. The entire Korean pavilion, actually at that, you see the screen, at 2010 Shanghai Expo was covered by 40,000 aluminum panels of Hangul, featuring the title Things I Know.
I see many of these works, you employ a grid of smaller works to create a much larger whole. Can you tell us how you developed this very distinct practice?
Yes. When I came to the US in 1984 to attend the graduate school at the Pratt Art Institute in Brooklyn, I worked full-time at a Korean grocery store in Manhattan to support myself while going to school. I didn't have enough time to paint and study, so I came up with an idea to make a small canvas, 3" by 3". So that I could carry around my pockets, everywhere. So I used to wear like army jackets with my many pockets, like here, like there. You see the bottom, the pants, even pants has a pocket.
Yep. I see.
My painting while commuting on the subway and the buses. I had a long commute because also I had a weekend job working at a flea market near JFK Airport.
Oh, that very long commute, very long. What an inventive solution. How many paintings were you able to make on this long, long commute?
Well, it's already more than 35 years, I guess, because I started from 1985. I found this idea. I finished more than about 100,000 paintings so far.
Wow.
Kind of a 3" by 3" was a perfect match, kind of my hand. And then I can put my paintings in my pocket everywhere, and then backpack, and then also I can hold the small size, my palm, it's kind of my palm size actually. So it's almost a meditation. So when I found the kind of the distance between my two eyeballs was like 3" by 3" actually. This can shape. So I was able to make first 1,000 paintings in the first year.
Spectacular. But the drawings on the wall in the exhibition, those aren't your drawings, right?
Oh yeah, this one's actually it's not. There are 6,000 drawings made by refugees who had fled North Korea during the Korean War. The drawings were collected from now elderly individuals from all across South Korea and the United States and the other parts of the world. The main purpose of the installation was to share the memories of the hometown with hope and dreams that someday, after unification, they will be able to return.
How did you go about collecting so many refugee drawings?
I started collecting drawings from refugees who came from North Korea back in 2015 with the help of the Unification Ministry of South Korea, family members and refugees, and volunteers. Very important volunteers.
So if these are reproductions, where are the originals?
Currently, original works are permanently installed at the Unification Observatory in Paju. There's a kind of center by the DMZ. It's not far from the DMZ, so you are able to watch the North Korean soldiers and farmers from there when the weather is good. I plan to compile all the 1,000 refugee drawings into one book later this year. I hope someday this will remain as an important spiritual and cultural asset in the history of Korea.
Wow, that's remarkable. Is there any one drawing that stands out in your memory?
Let's say. Oh, one drawing was very sad and funny at the same time. On one elderly man wrote, "I really want to find my skate shoes. I secretly hid under the floor of my house."
We all do that. We hide something and we can't remember where we hid it. That's such a wonderful human international instinct.
Yeah, for almost everyone who participated in the project, it was their first time to have the color pencil to draw something on paper. And it was the first time they were even asked about their past memory. So when I asked them what they want to draw, the three most common choice were, number one was map of their village. Number two was the scenery of their hometown. And number three was the stories and advice for their own children.
Wow, so profound.
It took them a while before they were able to talk about their home because many of them still feel deep pain and it hurts them to repeat their early memories in their home. Most of them cried when they were drawing. So we all cried together.
So true, so moving. I also understand that you asked not only seniors, but also children. Is that correct?
That's true. Our main idea of 100,000 Dreams, you see this? About visiting the future of Korea through the eyes of children. Yes, it is like traveling to the future with a time machine. If you listen closely and carefully, I believe we can hear children's voice from behind the paintings. Standing afar, you hear all of children's voice together as a whole, together. But when you stand close to each painting, you can hear the voice of each child. I think it's important. They are talking and dreaming. In doing this, I think we become part of them and they become part of us because we are all eventually connected.
We are connected. I think we all are learning that in new ways every day. And for this first iteration of the Amazed World Project, talk about this, please.
Oh, this one was installed in the lobby of United Nations in New York. We received the drawings from 34,000 children in over 135 countries. It's amazing.
Amazing.
The Amazed World exhibition was set to open September 11, 2001. September 11, the day of the center bombing. And it was supposed to last only 1 month, but because of that terrible event, the exhibition was extended to over a year. So I invite the children's work for the exhibition because I believe when you are young, you see the present through the window of the future, but when you become older, like we are maybe, you see the present through the memories of the past. So I kind of want to see the future through, children's eye. That was my whole goal.
Oh, wonderful. But I'm going to ask you to consider your past for a little bit and ask, when did you first realize you were an artist?
Oh, so actually I like this question. As a matter of fact, I knew this since I was very young. When I was 6 or 7, I guess, I copied my grandmother's passport size photo with a pencil, then showed it to my uncle. I remember he actually jumped up and down saying, "You must be a reincarnation of one of my great-grandfathers." Because, and then our family was poor, but we are so proud to be descendants of many famous artists and scholars in Korean history. So, on that day, my uncle's shower of encouragement actually changed my entire life. So one of the things I know that the exhibition, I include this sentence: "The praise you receive when you're little stays with you forever or lifetime."
So true. I think we all can attest to that. Very, very true. I know you also have a strong affection and admiration for Namjoon Pak. When did that begin?
In 1994, we had an exhibition together at the Whitney Museum in Connecticut. Namjoon Pak threw me an unforgettable question that night actually, after the opening. "Kang, what's going to happen in century 30? Then, what was it? I asked him, "Mr. Pak, do you mean more than 1,000 years from now on?" He said, "Yes." So I was like, okay. I couldn't answer actually. And then on my way home, I realized Namjoon Pak was a real shaman who could see the stars in the daylight. So I have to confess that I feel his presence around me all the time whenever I see stars. And I like to see stars someday in daylight.
Wow. So what other artists have influenced you?
My favorite artist is the maker of a pensive Buddha. He or she has no name because he's anonymous. There's no name left. The pensive Buddha smiles are one of purity and peace. I'm sure the artist could have only captured such a smile because he or she had the same smile, probably. I remember my first sculpture class in college. It was amazing this. We are all using our models to sculpt same model, one model. Everyone's ending products like all different. Most surprisingly, they look each other at their own face, own makeup. You laugh because you end up making your own face, even though you copy one model. So it's exactly. So I guess the maker, the the person who made a fancy Buddha probably has the same smile of fancy Buddha, I guess. It's an amazing smile.
That is so wonderful to imagine. I love that. I love that. I know that Buddhist themes are another important component of your work. Tell us more about that process.
Early 1990s, I did a series of Buddha paintings and installations that inspired by Buddhism. In this series, there were 1,000 Buddha paintings that had speakers on the back of the canvas. You see that like this on screen. They play sounds of Buddhist monks chanting and then my own voice reciting new English vocabulary found from New York Times or magazines. When I first arrived in America,
that's all right.
read loud articles, just like loud articles in newspaper and magazines to improve my English. We're still struggling, but.
So how did you get the idea for a sound painting?
I think it was 1988 winter. I received a Christmas card from my friend. Actually, he was my studio building super. He's a Chinese guy. He's a nice guy. He when I opened his card, he plays jingle bells. I say, wow, it's like amazing. And then I called my brother, younger brother in Korea, and then asked him buy 4,000 small speakers so I can install in my back of my each canvas, paintings. So someday I can make a sound installation. That's the story.
Multimedia artist, so amazing. Can you tell us also about the spatial installation of this Buddha?
This installation actually influenced by Seokguram grotto in Gyeongju in Korea. Seokguram means stone carved temple in a cave. Grotto means small cave. The basic layout of the cave includes the arched entrance and antechamber and the main rotunda. In the middle of the circle, the Buddha is seated with a peaceful expression of meditation. And along the walls, there are 10 statues in various forms. So I built a standing wall that is covered with 3,000 English vocabularies, paintings. In the middle of the installation, the fancy Buddha was covered in chocolate from head to toe. The statue slowly rotates on its base, going around one circle for 1 minute.
I know that chocolate has a special meaning to you. You share that with us?
Okay. When I was young, I think very young, many American soldiers shared their chocolate with children because I grew up in Itaewon. Itaewon is like a special district in Korea. Probably you know that area, right?
Mm-hmm.
The U.S. Army base was. I think still is there, yeah. My house was near the entrance of the base, up in the hill. Soldiers and their families were our neighbors. Many of our friends, parents, they also worked for, at the U.S. Army base. Chocolate is, to me, the chocolate is remembered to be a bitter at the war. Same time was a sweet as a childhood memory in Itaewon.
So much of your work is about forging connections where others see divisions, like the Thames River project in London. Can you speak more about this project?
I believe flowing river is a connector, not a divider. The river talks, just breathe and then talk, and then things, just like us, human. And it also embraces us, whether it is in north, east, south, or the west. I installed this floating drink for the Totally Thames project in London, September 2016, like 4 years ago. It was near the south bank of the Thames, right by the Tate Modern, the museum. The opposite side of my favorite fish and chips restaurant on the north bank. Next time when you go to London, please go there. I'll give you a name.
Thank you.
Because of Thames River, the city of London is divided and connects as well. Very interesting.
I remember when you were working on this installation, I believe you used a new material, right? What is it made out of?
It's made out of hanji. The hanji is a Korean traditional rice paper. Hanji is made from the inner bark of mulberry tree. The structure was so big. It's a cubic size lantern and then 7 meters high. So I applied on the oil surface of hanji, so it could be, weatherproof.
Fabulous. That's so great. Another significant milestone of your career is the Bridge of Dreams, which I also just was so thrilled to walk across. Can you tell us more about this?
The Bridge of Dreams in Suncheon City. Suncheon is actually located in the very south of South Korea. It's 175 meters long, and then it connects the east and the west of Suncheon City, kind of. They call Donggang. Donggang means, the Suncheon. By the way, the meaning of Suncheon means follow the order of heaven. Follow the order of heaven. It's,
Wonderful.
beautiful city, and then I love it. I mean, it's amazing. It's like my.
It was so beautiful when we were there. I also love it there.
And then it was made as a smaller model, as a future project that I've been working for the last 20 years. That the Bridge of Dreams, on Imjin River, so which would connect North and South Korea. So like, have you been to the Brooklyn Bridge? And then the person who built I think John A. Woburn from Japan. Then he built the Ohio Bridge, I think Ohio, as a kind of model. Before he made a masterpiece, the Brooklyn Bridge. So I kind of made this Suncheon, the Bridge of Dreams, before making this bridge on the Imjin River.
Makes perfect sense. Absolutely.
So outside the bridge, I displayed things I know in Hangul. And then inside, the bridge holds about 145,000 children drawings from 16 different countries. Last year alone, we had about 4 million people walked over the bridge. 4 million.
That's amazing.
4 million over.
So much of your work involves some sort of public participation or interaction. Would you share your thoughts about the role of public art?
It's tough, okay. I believe the role of public art is to listen first, and connect, and embrace people, like how the river Thames and the Indian River does. The public art is small. I think public art is a small revolution. Revolution means 3 things: initiator, a leader. Number 2 is a community or follower, and then reason, agenda. So I think public art, I've been working last 20 years, is almost same thing. You require the same kind of 3 components, initiator, community, and reason. So unification of Korea is like repairing disconnected fishing net. My role as an artist, cast the fishing net into the water. Then scientists bring the fish onto the land, and then economists put the fish on the cutting board. And then finally, politicians distribute the fish to the people. So when people ask me sometimes, Kang, are you a political artist? I cannot say yes or no, because everything is connected. You cannot separate one from another. We cannot separate art from politics.
Very true. It's people try to compartmentalize in a way that is not really true to life. This is clearly also the case for one of my favorite works, the Mountain Wind Gwanghwamun Gate. I was on a coach filled with museum curators, and when we saw this, all of us jumped out of our seats and pressed our faces to the outside of the bus. So if you could talk a little bit about this spectacular installation.
I think 2008, yeah. During the Japanese occupation of Korea, the famous Gwanghwamun Gate was moved about 5 feet to the north from the original site by Japanese. The Korean government decided to move 5 feet back to original site. In 2008, they gave me an art commission to build something to cover the entire gate during the construct time. So they just assumed that just build something, maybe cover out, just create like one piece of cloth, whatever, I don't know. But I didn't do that. So I paint over 2,000 moon jars on the wooden panels. It was there, it was there 2.5 years. The story behind the installation was actually, I grew up. I was born in Korea. I grew up in Korea, and then it was my gift to the Korean government. Actually, I didn't get paid anything. I just, didn't get paid. Even all the paint, all the panels, everything, even my plane ticket, I donate back.
Amazing.
And then it was my kind of, I don't know. I thought it was my duty to something back to the government. It was there 2.5 years. And then now there's a new Gwanghwamun. At the time, I saw LED light for the first time in my installation to light the structure at night. So LED light was very expensive at the time. So I remember that there was 2008 was like a brand new thing. My mom really loved it. My mom, actually, she passed away many years ago, but she was so shy. She didn't even tell church friends, when they passed by side by bus, she didn't tell, this done by my son. She didn't tell anything. She's like, I don't know. I'm like a her actually. Very kind of
modest, very modest. You are very modest.
So she passed away soon after the installation of this Banghamun project. It's so sad. Yeah.
Very. I understand that at this site is where your next project will be, which is amazing that you're proceeding with even in these times. Could you share with us a preview of this upcoming project?
Okay. This actually today the first time I ever showed to anybody actually from my studio.
Yay!
Done everything last week and then all done. So it's Banghamun again. Okay. These are the rendering from the upcoming curriculum installed, but it will be stood in front of Banghamun Gate. It's June to August. See this? Yeah. So it will commemorate the people who died during the Korean War. And then the idea behind the installation is about peace and harmony. About 10,000 children drawing from 20 different countries that fought during the Korean War. Plus my paint arirang in Korean or Korean words will be used. The title of the installation is arirang. It's song more than 600 years old and they consider to be probably anthem of Korean people, either both from North and South Korea. Doesn't matter. Just arirang is like a boom, the anthem, national anthem forever.
I think many of us even know it as a television station. Now, is it true that you have a plan that this will rotate? Is that what we're seeing in the rendering?
Actually, it's gonna rotate because this year is 7 years of anniversary of the Korean War, 2020. So 1950 to 2020, 7 years. So this one is the upper part is rotating, kind of moving. So every 70 seconds goes 90 degrees. So if I want to make one circle, you need to take about 280 seconds.
And what material are you going to be making this out of?
All that rice paper, same thing, and then inside the steel structure, and then it's moon jar, high tech, a lot of that. So you're gonna put the generator inside. You don't have any electricity from around the area, so I have to kind of put a generator, put some gas, everything, and then I have to make a chimney on top.
Wow. Engineering too.
I think 2 months that was so hard work.
It is hard work. You are a hard worker. Absolutely. You always are working so hard. I want to thank you so much for entering into this conversation with us all here this evening. I love this new painting that you have with the two halves of the moon jar and the consonants and the vowels of the Hangul joining each other. I wanted to make sure that all viewers could follow you on Instagram or find your website. And I wanted to thank Korea Society for convening this enlightening, certainly enlightening to me, conversation. Kang, I understand you're willing to answer a few questions from our viewers. Is that correct?
Yes. Okay. It was a great talk and a pleasant joining. Okay. Great. Thanks so much.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Okay. So that we can now see your faces better. And I'm delighted to now hand over the directorship of the questions to the fabulously talented J.O. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you so much, Catherine. Thank you so much, Mr. Kang. It was just so wonderful to hear two of you speak to each other and to see all these wonderful images. It makes us really miss our exhibition that we can't go. But hopefully people will get an idea of what a wonderful exhibition it is. We do have a few questions that came in, but I do want to start with actually a question that many people asked when they came to the exhibition. A lot of the people asked about the food, as you described during your talk. You have all these wonderful models of Korean food all over the place. How did you make them? Did you make them? That's what they all ask. What are they made out of? How do you preserve them? A lot of people, is it real food that has been preserved? So lots of questions about the food.
Actually, when I was young, I was so amazed when I passed by the Korean restaurant, like Myeongdong and Jongno, and then they were showing outside the food. It's a model. I thought it's a real food. Actually, model made out of wax. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then I thought, I have to make a model of food. How do I make it? And then I checked the YouTube, everything, how to make it, but it's impossible to make it. I called them. Can you make it for me? Okay. They sent it by FedEx, and then I got it, and then just installed on the table. Yeah.
Definitely, they made us all very hungry whenever we had to pass by because they look so realistic.
And amazing was like, it's amazing. They are true artists. It's amazing. Yeah.
Great. So we have a question from Angie, who is actually, it seems like she's a teacher at a high school in Ohio. She said, thank you for inspiring my high school art students with their most recent at-home art project based on Happy World Scattered Crumbs, which is on view at the Detroit Institute of Art. I was wondering if you would like to comment on the process of making your piece, and pieces as it is part of much larger body of work, and what inspired to begin collecting items for work?
Collecting items for, okay, just random things. In the beginning, I collect toys and stuff from my son when he grew up. Sometimes I don't have any idea. I get it from my old furnitures. One time I took one of my TV, just old TV, one leg, I took it out. I put it in my canvas. Then my wife saw this canvas, it just sticks out, like kind of, one leg, TV leg, and then she was so upset. She came to my exhibition and, oh, what is this? And then, okay, I'll put it back. Sure, I'll put it back. I promise. So every toy, every kind of object, every kind of idea is part of my diary, kind of recording my time. So is it just like diary? Just things. It doesn't really matter. Just keep collecting and drawing, just everything. So when time goes by, then when I look back my life, and then, oh, I did this, I did that, and then I spend time with this object, with this idea, and then I'm trying to, keep going. It's like a continuing journey with a train.
So all these little objects mean something to you, and
yeah, just sometimes my friend just send it this all the things like they don't use. You say beautiful garbage, but they don't use it, but they like to keep it because it kind of has a memory of the children, their family, I think. But they want these articles, these things on my canvas so they can see forever. So if you have anything, the house doesn't want to throw away, but you want to keep it, send it to me. I can use it.
And then we can all be part of your work, artwork, which will be wonderful. Yep. We also have a question from Virginia Moon, who is a curator at the LACMA. She asks, Mr. Kang, the 3x3 block or size has now become one of your signatures. When you put them together to make an artwork, what dictates the overall size, the space it is displayed in your own, or your own vision of the work? So what dictates the end product size? I guess, is it the size specific or?
Actually depends on the size and then situation. It just changes. It's very flexible. Like I always like the I don't know, Bruce Lee's comment. You have to be water, like water. Just my work has to be like water. It has to be very flexible, very kind of open. It goes to any place. It get along with any place. Anybody just go with it. So it's my kind of motto, and then my kind of a last destination. So it has to go through anywhere. It doesn't have to be ending destination. Just like everything open.
And I think I also told you that we had this idea of participating in the Teen Takes the Met in a couple of weeks, using your idea of the little squares and asking the students to sort of describe or draw what they're looking forward to, as that was your suggestion. And I actually have a question from a student who said, I wasn't taught anything about the Korean War during high school. How do you think that young Americans can interact with your exhibition without a certain knowledge of Korean history?
Actually, this is a good question actually. So when you be part of this installation of kind of international kind of people or the participants, you feel right away connected in a way. So my main goal is about connection. So even though you don't know anything about history of China and then Cuba and Africa, once you get into this kind of installation, you're part of this whole team. You understand that you just belong there. You just belong totally. So that's my own goal, and then this is really important. You just be part of it, and then just make a friends, and then you see who is a guy next to your painting drawing, then where they came from, and then you study, and then make a friend. So and then you don't feel alone. You just totally connect. That's the main idea. You don't have to know their history, anything, any country. Just dive in, and the first and just look for it.
Great. And then I guess it's sort of the last question. So what do you want your art to be remembered for? What do you want people to really remember for your art?
The funny thing is like, that was a tough question. And then I was thinking the other day, if I don't want to leave any name behind kind of things. I don't know if people, why is, art, but this leaving a legacy and name behind, it really can be a trap as an artist. Finding I don't know, is being known and then recognized by community and the public, everything. A lot of people, we spend a lot of wrong energy into it. So my kind of idea is just don't think about it. Just do whatever, just I see right now. So live on the momentum. So every minute, just do it. And then, like birds, they sing without, they don't want to be recognized, just the singing. And then when you see the boat passing, the ship passing the river, and it doesn't leave any trace. Just go. They just go. So why do I have to leave a trace? Why do I have to leave something? Why do I have to be remembered as a certain person? So I don't think it's for me, it's a kind of a harmful way to understand my life. I say, forget it. Just do whatever I do right now, and then just just unload the burden of being recognized. I think that's my answer.
Well, you are always a poet, that we knew. I did, when you just talked about it, just sort of like living with the moment and all that, I just had a quick question. I don't think I ever asked you, and we see all these wonderful Buddha images in your work. Do you consider yourself as a Buddhist, or do you have any religion, or is it just something that you're interested in?
You don't have to be a Buddhist, Buddhist love Buddha. You don't have to be a Christian to love Jesus Christ, anything. I think main thing is about something inside, universe inside, just everyone has a universe inside their mind. And then how do I connect? How do I connect the outside of the universe and inside the universe? That's my entire goal. So my understanding praying is even like, it's not praying for something, I like get something where I don't want to be like this. But instead of that kind of asking, I think praying is totally cleaning my chimney, inside of my house, outside house, kind of universe. That's the true prayer and the true cleaning to the process. I think that's, if I do that every day, I think that'll be amazing. That'll be perfect. So I was thinking the other day, how do I do this? I don't know, but one kind of slide, small like solution that trying to listen to my breathing. That's the first step. You can do that in your home, and everybody can do that. Trying to listen, breathing 5 times in a row, without getting any kind of idea between. Just totally 5 times in a row, thinking about breathing. It's hard. It's hard, really hard. But it takes about 2 hours. Just get to 5 times straight.
Well, that's something definitely we can all practice right now, I guess. So I just want to say thank you so much again to Mr. Ik-Joong Kang and Dr. Katherine Paul for this wonderful conversation tonight. And thank you again for being so flexible. We were supposed to do this in front of a live audience, which I really wish we could have done in front of your wonderful exhibition. But this is the next best thing, and we just have to, as you said, go with the flow and be the water and go, deal with whatever the world might throw at us, right? And then do it calmly and with the good intentions. So we learned so much from your artwork, and it's really has been a true honor to have your exhibition at the Korea Society. So thank you. And thank you, Dr. Paul, for all your insights and wonderful moderation. I really, really appreciate it. And as you mentioned, we want to say thank you to Peter, our IT director, for making this happen. And of course, our intern extraordinaire, Gia. So Mr. Kang, do you want to just say one last word to the viewers?
Let's say, stay positive, and then just feel connect each other. I think that's the only remedy. Get out of this, just long term of a pandemic. That's the only solution, I guess. Be positive.
I think you're absolutely right. Thank you so much. Thank you again. And thanks for everybody for watching. And if you missed any portion of this talk, you can watch it from the beginning on our YouTube, on our web page. And please visit our website, koreasociety.org, for other upcoming programs. Thank you so much, everybody. Good night.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.